So for people who are wondering what I'm talking about in this video, if I were you, I would go back to, I believe, the 6th video in the Phantom Breakers Arcade Normal playlist. And I'm kind of picking up from everything that I spoke about in the 5th and 6th video in that playlist. But basically, so like early on, I was just kind of liking, videos that reflected where I was at the time, in addition to, videos that, same thing, that reflected like, what I was doing. So I was liking videos about kind of how I felt, and then also videos about what I was doing. Since then you see stories that people are kind of trying to bring attention to the fact that there's YouTubers who are openly breaking the law, and it is what it is. So then, the problems from that, or within that, or just in that same space, also kind of continue to persist. And so, that's you can see the progression in my liked videos playlist if it's still up. For me, it's private, I put it on public. I'm not sure if people can see it, but some of these more recent developments in the copyright, Nintendo copyright, Power World lawsuit stuff, it would seem as if, like, I'm not sure if anything's going to come of it, because nothing's come of it. Nothing has come of it up until this point, but I'm thinking, some of this stuff may finally be coming to fruition, because, there's nowhere else the problems have to get addressed. There's no, people can't continue to, or maybe they are, I don't know. I mean, as of right now, it seems as if some of the people who are responsible for, these stories are still on this website. And I'm not advocating for them not to be. I'm just trying to highlight like what's going on and what has been going on. So for instance, like, the Nintendo Pocket Pair Power World lawsuit thing happened. I wasn't even going to touch that, but, but because some people who I'm subscribed to reported on the story, and I feel like they're trustworthy YouTubers, I decided to share the video. Like I said in the video that I made a couple of weeks ago, there's been a development in that story, same story, and that's really the first time something like that's happened, aside from what Honey did more recently, which is kind of just resurface. But that's a different issue, because Honey is a service or a product that was kind of highlighting the fact that, bad things are happening, but no one was doing anything about it. So, there was a development, and then some news broke, and the news broke in the community, in one of the communities rather, that's probably the most, probably affected by this the most. And then people reporting on a development that came out of after the, sorry. I apologize if that was loud. That's another thing. So there was this most recent story, then some news broke in the community highlighting something that was happening. Then after that, a player got banned for 8 months. And then after that, someone reported on that story. For me, it was the same person who broke the initial story. So you have the initial story, the kind of community backlash from said story. Again, it would seem as if none of the real problems ever got addressed, which is what led to a player getting banned for 8 months. I'm not sure what that story is about, but this is all happening, at or around the same time that, they're just continuous developments from that story. So the because of everything that's happened up until this point, I felt it was only right to share it, but I didn't really want to even go into that space because it is quite disturbing at this point. And even in some of the YouTube.zip videos that I made that are dealing with this same exact problem, I even put a disclaimer in it, like, almost like a parental advisory, because, I was probably going to get upset, and because of what was happening and why it was happening, I had to apologize before I let people know why those videos got made. But those videos are can be tied directly to what is happening now. And because of what I'm trying to do, period, because of everything that's happened up until this point, it's like, well, I can't really I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I was just hesitant about sharing it, but I don't know, maybe, I really thought at some point, like, YouTube would address the problems, but I think everyone at this point has kind of reached their limit with not just everything that they're willing to put up with, but of also who's going to, address this. I'm not sure. I don't know. To be completely honest, I feel like I was in high school and I heard rumors about people that were going to pull the plug on, some of the stuff that was happening in the cloud, right? In air quotes, cloud being in air quotes, but nothing ever really happened. But as of late, I decided to share some of that stuff only because I felt it was only right. But I tried to preface the whole thing with some other videos that I thought would interest people, and it really is a shame because I did try to, like, around Halloween, make like a really concerted effort to just take that whole my liked video playlist into a different direction. And it's like, I probably have been saying that for like the longest time, but this time I was like pretty serious about it, like, and of course, right around the time that I made that promise to myself, here we go. So I do apologize for not only the YouTube.zip videos that I made on my channels and stuff, but I do apologize to other people that this stuff is happening. And I don't know. Maybe it'll start to finally get addressed, which is what this whole Nintendo thing is about. But I don't know. There's only so much YouTube can do, which is why maybe some of the YouTube.zip videos got made on my end. But I don't know. This will probably be the last video I make tonight. Sometimes when I make videos, surely depending on how much I'm talking, determines whether or not, determines how quickly my voice starts escaping from me. So, but I did want to talk about that. It's, it's a shame, if nothing else, but, again, that's kind of why I started. I bought Phantom Breakers Battlegrounds Ultimate, so I could have a space to talk about precisely stuff like this. But this video might not get made until, like, it'll get made, sooner than later. It just won't see the light of day on my channel probably till like mid-December. But yeah, that's really about it.